Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we're making some updates. We're gonna see some good stuff and some not so good stuff. Just updating a few orchids. We're gonna take a little bit of a chill day today. The next two videos will be tutorial-ish. They're gonna be more intense, but today we're gonna take a little break because I filmed 7 videos today, I feel like, for the second channel as well, so I feel like we need to chill. We kind of chilled over the past couple of weeks, but hey, why not? Right, so let's start with some updates. I'm going to show you some orchids that we didn't see in a million years. Maybe you don't even know I have them. This is such an old orchid and this is what I have to show for this type of updates. Right, let's start the update with this one. What is even this one? It's a Cattlianthe. What Cattlianthe? Brother, it's the Siamese doll Kiwi. Now the tag says 2022. I feel like it's older than that, but I kind of, I repotted it then and I put the tag date then. I feel like it's older. I don't know what's wrong with this orchid. It has never excelled. Now what I'm doing is I'm letting it just be because it's growing some roots. I have roots inside the pot. It looks okay. I have new roots growing, but you can see the level of vigorousness of this orchid is just not there. Where is it? We don't know. We don't know what's wrong with it. Could it be a virus? It could be, because we have some spotting on the leaves. But this orchid is also a spotted orchid. So having freckles on the leaves is so common with spotted Cattlias that I cannot judge it on that. Some of these spots are purple, which is not an indication of virus. Usually when you have dark brown or even black spots that have a weird circly shape, that's when we can think about a virus. Also when we have like just patches in weird shapes and lots of them, we can think about a mosaic virus. So if you have like a mosaic shape, that's concerning. This one is not so concerning. However, it's just not doing much and it's so bad because the flower is so beautiful on this orchid. I always wanted to have it for so many years and never had good luck with any of them. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had this orchid? Did it give you any type of issues? Is it just that this hybrid is just not vigorous, or is just my individual? If yours is growing without any type of issue, it's clear mine has an issue. But all of mine had issues so far, and I'm typically okay with Cattlias because the environment helps me, so it's not an environmental thing. I don't know. We have good roots though, so it's growing, it's getting there, but I don't know what's wrong with this orchid. I want it to be good so bad, but... And this is not a small orchid. This is small right now because it's at back, but typically it should be this tall, or at least this tall. So I still have her, nothing much to report, and it kind of bugs me because I really like this orchid. So what is your experience with the Siamese doll Kiwi? Next up, this is an orchid that actually sits right behind it. I haven't updated you guys in this guy in a million years because, well, nothing happened. Well, not a million years because I got it when? In 2023, almost 2 years, a year and a half ago. This is a Dendrobium kingianum variegated and it's still growing. It's still growing new shoots, and this is the type of orchid that could use a little break in the winter time, but I cannot find a good break because it's growing shoots, and I wanted to put this orchid outside to get that chill, but it's still like it has new growth at the bottom, so I keep watering it. It doesn't take a break. Yeah, it has matured some growth. You can see in the past we had some pest damage here, but we're good now. All of the new growth looks very nice. It has very healthy new growth. It looks splendid and it will look so beautiful when it blooms, but I don't know when I should give it the cool down. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet at some point. Even if it has new growth at the bottom, I'm just gonna put it outside and let it handle whatever temperatures, and maybe that will help it initiate some flower spikes because I would really like to have some blooms. The kingianums and these types of dendrobiums that have a break, let's call it, not a dormancy, a break, they're a little bit messed up in my climate because I have such a long summer. They tend to grow multiple growths from the same direction per year, not just one, because there's just so much warmth that, the growth period is so extended. The problem is when the cool down happens in my area, the new growths are like just maturing or halfway done, or there's even new growth at the bottom. So they're never like super well seasoned. The worst for me are the nobiles. I cannot for the life of me season them, no matter what I do. It doesn't work here where I am, like inland. Maybe in other parts of the country where the climate is a little different, maybe people have a better time there. But here, no, I cannot season them. And these guys have the same issue. They will be left with growth that is not matured by the end of summer. Summer ended like 2 weeks ago here. So I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna put it outside because it's really not that cold. It's like 11 degrees Celsius at night. These guys can go down, not freezing necessarily, or they can even handle a bit of freezing. I'm gonna put it outside and see what it does. It might decide to pause this new growth at the bottom, and we have mature growth. It can bloom. So I'm just gonna put it outside and see what it wants to do. But yeah, I still have it. If you remember the unboxing, did I do an unboxing? I don't remember. If you were wondering whatever happened to this orchid, this beautiful, beautiful orchid, well, she's still around. She's just growing chaotically, but I'll put it outside and I'll let you know what happens, because now she's growing. And I feel like if I leave her here, even if in nighttime, you know, I keep the windows open to give that cool down for the Phalaenopsis, even if it cools down in the night, I don't think it's enough for this one. I think this one needs a proper chill. The Phalaenopsis, they get a little bit of a breeze, like, ooh, girl, it's chilly, time to put out spikes. No, these guys need a proper chill, so I'm gonna put it outside soon. Okay, let's move on. Next up, an orchid that is quite old. This is Renanthera monachica. The tag goes all the way to 2021, but I had her previously to that. It's, I think, in 2021 when I started to put dates on my tags just to keep track, because I have so many orchids, you know, and I grow old. My mind isn't what it used to be. I forget. So I decided to put the year where I repot them on the tag, and this is how I know when I purchase them as well, because I usually repot them very soon after I purchase them. So this is before 2021. If you're older on my channel, you know that this orchid grows without any type of issue, and it's one of the most glorious orchids that I have. But about 2 years ago, we had a happening. Something happened. The crown had an issue. Was it thrips? Maybe, I don't know. It had a little issue here. The crown it didn't rot, it just stopped growing for whatever reason. And I thought I was gonna lose it. This is one of those orchids that I really don't want to lose. I've had it before. I got a sick individual, could never revive it, probably had a virus, and I tried to revive it for 4 years, something like that. I got it even before moving to Cyprus, and I could never, so I gave it up. And that hurt my heart. And I got this one, and this one was always so vigorous and glorious that I got a really big scare when the thing with the crown happened. So it skipped a year of blooming, but it actually put out, this is actually a keiki if you think about it. It put out a new crown here. You can see like the stem is dried here. It's where I cut it. And then it put out a new stem, which has a flower spike now. Woohoo! So she's still doing okay. I'm so happy. I don't know what happened to the crown. Things happen. I might have even splashed some water in the crown. Who knows? I might have. But she's okay. It managed to pull through. I repotted this one last in April 2022. It's about time. It's about time for a repot. Somebody actually told me in a comment they miss repots. I miss them too. But you know what the problem is? There's no stock in my country of bark. I have to go again, but like last I checked, like a few weeks ago, they did not have any stock. So it's up to the shops to order and to stock. You know, I use the Zoomed bark, whatever, because I find it locally. Nobody has stock, and in my country, we don't stock things like that because they need to wait for multiple stuff to run out of stock to make a bigger order so that transport is worth it. It doesn't help that everything is basically almost twice as expensive as everything else in Cyprus or anywhere else. But yeah, this is how it goes. It's a small country. We gotta wait for the shops to put in orders and stock up. So far, there is no bark to speak of in my country, and I didn't feel like ordering it on Amazon and paying shipping and all of those things. Sometimes it's not even available on Amazon. So that's why I didn't repot anything recently. But the moment we get bark in our country, I shall repot again to your delight. But now, there's no bark. This one could use a repot. It can go another year, to be frank, to be fully honest. But it's time for a repot, I feel like. Look at those roots. So yeah, this is a Vendacious orchid actually, but Renantheras always do good potted for me. So that's been the update on the Renanthera. Next up, the Cattlianthe type. This is Clowesia Grace Dunn Chad's Fort that I received from the beautiful and wonderful Maya. I think it's done growing for the season. She's tiny, she's a tiny orchid, but the pseudobulb is about the same size of the previous pseudobulb. This is a small division from hers, and yeah, I think it's not mature yet. Looking at the pseudobulb, I don't think it can bloom this year, although this is one of those orchids which is not as tall as the Signotus Wine Delight, as far as I know, as far as I can see in photos and stuff, but definitely it should be a little taller than this, I believe. It has done very well. If you remember, the panic with this one was that it was like middle of summer or something and it was still not waking up. And my theory was that this one is coming from Brazil actually. My theory was that it's a little off season because it's coming from the southern hemisphere, which is like the seasons are the opposite as they are in the northern hemisphere. So it kind of needs a little bit of time to adjust. So it was dormant in my summer because in its environment where it grew, it was winter. So it had to be dormant. But the saving thing is that in my area, summer goes on until Christmas. So I wasn't afraid that it's not gonna have enough warm time to grow. It's already completed its growth and it's still kind of warm. So everything worked out great, and probably, if not next year, then the 2 years from now it's going to be completely seasoned to my climate and my seasons. And hopefully we're also going to have flowers. I don't know if that seasoning took out a bit of energy from this orchid, but yeah, I don't think it's big enough to bloom this year. I appreciate that it has grown at least to the size of the previous bulb and that the leaves look glorious. We don't have pests attacking them or anything. So I'm very happy with its growth. I will just not expect flowers or anything. If they do happen through some sort of miracle, I'll tell you about it, but nah, I don't think it's gonna bloom this season, which is fine. I need this one to first season itself and then we can speak about the blooms. If you don't know how this orchid blooms, just Google it. It has, in my opinion, the cutest pinky flowers that you've ever seen. It's one of the most beautiful orchids that I own in this room right now. I love it so much. It's hard to find though in Europe. Not easy to find, and Maya actually ordered it from Brazil. So yeah. Anyway, very thankful for it and very happy to have it. And since we're on the Maya topic, let me show you another orchid or little division she sent from one of her orchids. Ta-da! Who is she? This is Iwanagaara Appleblossom. I don't know if this was a division or it was a young orchid because it has like the original tag. I got it this year, or was it this year? The tag says April 2024. I think she sent them this year. Yeah, she sent them this year. Actually, no, I don't think this is a division. I think this is a young plant that she ordered from, look, I don't remember. Oh my gosh, my memory. There is a part of this year that I don't remember because I was like heat stroked or stuff, and part of the past memories got erased as well. Oh, I see them. We do have quite a few roots. I just watered the orchids and on the top as well, but you can see the orchid is really tiny. This orchid grows big, but now she's a really tiny one. The new pseudobulb is so nice and round and plump and just green. She's very healthy, she's very beautiful, but it will take a bit of time for her to reach maturity. But I just wanted to show it to you because I made such a big fuss about Iwanagaaras. I used to have an Iwanagaara many years ago. In the balcony days in Romania, I found it at a flower shop and I fell in love with it. It's like if you see it, you're gonna be like, Okay, I've seen better. Yeah, there are better looking orchids, but there's something about this one when you see it in person. It's just so whimsical, so nice, and the fragrance is unique. Again, if you smell it, you're like, I've smelled better. Yes, but it's just special. It's different. It has a nice, soft freesia, in my opinion, smell, and it just goes together with how beautiful the orchid looks like. I don't know. It's one that it's in my heart. Don't, you know, taste. I like an orchid, I don't like an orchid that much. It's all about taste. This one is one of those that is just up my alley. I don't know why. So I lost my previous Iwanagaara, I think when I moved to Cyprus, maybe fusarium, maybe dehydration, I don't know why, but I lost it. And I've always wanted it back. Now, I don't know if this one is the pink variety that I had or the other varieties. I'm always like interested in having stuff that I didn't have. Whatever variety it is, because there are a few varieties of this one, I will be happy because it's one of those very whimsical, very fairy tale orchids to me. Everything about it, the fragrance, the looks of it, everything is very beautiful, and I'm so grateful and thankful to have it. And this is the update on it. It's gonna take a few years for it to reach maturity, but she's doing well and I couldn't be happier. Now let's look at some bad stuff. I told you this will be the good, the bad, you know, the stuff, the reality. This one, I have this orchid again for so many years. The tag says April 2022, but I had her from before that. This is Dendrobium loddigesii variegated, and this one does not want to live. I don't know if I'm overexposed. I'm gonna give you close-ups. This orchid just melts. The new growth that it put out this year, the top part of it is melting, and I don't understand why. This has never been a vigorous plant for me, and it's just so beautiful. The loddigesii that is not variegated, I had that one before. That one didn't do great for me either. It could just very well be something it doesn't like in my environment or my climate. Maybe it likes cooler environments, and I have a suspicion that's the problem. It doesn't excel. If a plant is very stressed all of the time, it is also more prone to disease in general, whether it's a bacterial infection or fungal infection or, you know, pests are more prone to attack it as well. If a plant is not happy because it's always stressed, it's not going to be vigorous, it's not going to pull through, it's not going to behave, you know, to the best of its abilities. This might be a very vigorous plant for somebody in the right environment for it, but I have a funny suspicion I'm not that person. And you know, it sucks because I really like it. I really like, and especially the variegated version. I think it's so beautiful. And I tried this one in a terrarium as well. It did not do good. The extra humidity didn't help it. It always melts. It always like grows. And whenever I feel like, oh, you know, that new growth is going well and it was gonna pull through this time, it does something like this. This is all I have left of it, and the new growth is melting. I don't know what it is about it, but it really doesn't like me. It doesn't like my face, doesn't like this room, doesn't like anything. So I think soon I will have to let it go. It's not over until it's over, you know, but I feel like it's gonna be over soon. It's been so many years trying to make this plant grow, and I think the loddigesii is just not an orchid suited for me, so I will not try with it. It's a beautiful dendrobium, but rather than watching each and every one of them just melt away, I'd rather not. So yeah, that's one of the bad updates. What is your experience with this orchid in relation to your environment? Let me know in a comment. So let's end the video on a positive note. Let me show you a Bulbophyllum that I have for many years. The tag doesn't even have a date, so who knows, 2020, before that, who knows. I have it for a lot of time, and it's a specimen. This is my purpurascens crossed daisy chain. I like to call it the daisy chain. This is the mother plant. I actually took a little bit of it. I shared it with other people. Maya has a cutting of this as well. I have a cutting of it in a different pot because I thought there was something wrong with this one. I thought, well, where am I gonna repot it? Maybe I should start it over. But I kept the mother plant up, and I'm gonna show you. I'm all over the place. I bought something. I bought this pot for it. So when we're gonna have bark chips in my country, I'm gonna take you on a repot adventure, because look at this, oh my gosh. So You haven't seen this one in bloom in ages, right? Well, I had it under the grow lights in one of my Rudsta cabinets, together with the Elizabethan buckleberry, which is in bloom right now, actually. It needs a repot as well, goodness. But it did not bloom for 2 years. 2 straight years, and I was like, either it's getting crowded in here, either, I don't know, I need to repot it, but when and in what am I gonna repot, what am I gonna do? So I took a cutting from it and put it in one of those bowls without drainage. This one doesn't have drainage either. I'm good with it. So I'm actually not getting it out of this decorative pot as it is, because I can't. She's stuck to it. She's actually potted in a plastic pot inside with drainage, but she's so stuck to this that I would like break everything if I would just take it out to drain the water. I just don't do that, and it's okay. So might as well put it in a no drainage pot, because I can be careful. I digress. So this one did not bloom under the barinas. It had 2 barinas. It wasn't too much light. It's not like usually I use 4 barinas per shelf. That one was a shelf that had 2 barinas left over. You know, it wasn't a very litten place, but I thought that bulbophyllums don't need as much light. Well, they might. Because ever since I arrived here, this room is so bright. It also actually receives some direct sunshine because I have it right now in front of the window, and at some point it receives direct sunshine as well. Ever since I brought it here, it is full of flower spikes. I didn't even count them. I cannot even see all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's full of flower spikes. I don't even think some of them have space to get out of this mass of leaves and such. Goodness. Yeah, bulbophyllums need more light than we think. That is my conclusion. So here she is. She has a lot of new growth. She's just like one with this pot at the moment, but she will have a ton of flowers, and I'm very excited about it. But just in case you are keeping your bulbophyllums in very dim light because you think they don't need too much light and they never bloom for you, give them more light. Even some direct sunshine, as long as they don't burn, give them more light. Put them under 4 barinas, not 2, 6 barinas. Put them in brighter light. It might actually make the difference, because I cannot explain it otherwise. Look at this. Hopefully I'm not very overexposed. I don't even see very well. My vision is not that good. So it looks very bright. I hope I'm not, but if I am, I'm gonna give you close-ups. Give your bulbophyllums bright light, guys. They're not that low light as we might think. Maybe they can even bloom in medium light, but the higher light, the better blooming. At least this is my conclusion so far. So gonna film her when all of these flower spikes are saved from between the leaves and all of them are open. She's gonna be so pretty. She had 2 more that bloomed, but I didn't film it because I didn't see them. I wasn't expecting it to have flowers, and they were contorted. I saw like the flowers when they were already like open. Wow. So yeah, that's the update on the bulbophyllum. I have a petal. Give them light, because I think they will enjoy it. Right, so with that said, that concludes today's update video. I don't know when I'm gonna post this. I might be a little off with my schedule this week. It's a bit of a full week. So excuse if the schedule is not really on point. I'm doing my best, but there are some things I need to take care of. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today. And as always, I wanna hear from you and your experience with these orchids. So with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!